Hey folks, just a quick little video on grinding brake noises, or to be more specific, you apply the brakes and you get a gnarly sounding noise. I just wanted to do a quick little video and show some tips I found to address this situation and how to correct it and what causes it primarily. I've got a little brake pad here that's standard road bike brake pad. Now, this can happen on any mountain bike, V-brakes, basically any brake where there's a rim brake with a rubber pad and an aluminum rim, typically. Generally, though, what causes that is as you ride in wet conditions, and as the rim passes by, you get some water in there and some grit, dirty stuff that gets trapped up within the water, and you can pull a little micro piece of sand or something, and what happens is that it gets embedded into the pad, just with the wet weather and such, and then that will start to scrape into the aluminum of the rim, and as it does that, it builds scrapes a little piece of aluminum, which just kind of feels eventually a little void in the pad. So you get the scraping, grinding noise as you apply the brakes. But anyway, let's just we'll get into a few little tips that I found to address this situation.
You don't necessarily have to remove the pads from the bike, but I went ahead and did it here just to get a little closer look at them. You can see the little silver bits there of the aluminum that have embedded themselves into the pad. And a little more on this pad here. If you look closely, you can also see that the pad was installed, or both of them were installed upside down, as the curvature of the wear mark doesn't match the curvature of the pad itself. So there is a definite left and right direction that you want to install these, and more on that in just a bit. But if you've got plenty of meat left still on the pad, there's generally some little wear indicator lines that'll show you where to replace the pad after it's worn down pretty far. But what I'll do is just take a pick or something, something sharp there, and just dig out the little bits, and then you may want to follow up with some little bit of sandpaper. I'll usually put a piece of sandpaper on a flat surface and then just rub the pad up against it. If you're going to take the pads off or you want to replace them on a road bike, it's basically you have a little screw there that's on the end of the pad itself, which is going to be on the rear end of the pad. Which rear brake, it's going to be in the back. Front brake, it's going to be in the front. But usually you turn the screw about 4 turns, and then you can just slide that little pad out. You don't necessarily have to take the little screw all the way out, because those are easy to lose. And then this just the pads there, typically they're going to be marked with the direction of travel, and then they'll have a little L and R on them, so you can you'll know which side to put each pad on. So sliding the new little pads here in the little pad holder, and some of the mountain bike or like a V-brake style will have a little holder, and others you just have to replace the whole pad assembly. And if you do put new pads in, you may have to slightly adjust the brake cable tension, or you may have to slightly tow them in to keep them from squeaking as well. Normally you want the leading edge of the pad to hit slightly before. Anyway, this rim here has got a little bit of a little roughness from the little metal bits that we're digging in there. So what I like to do here, after I get the pads resurfaced or replaced, I'll take some either really fine sandpaper, or I like these Mavic, the little soft abrasive stone there that I'll put a link to it where you can purchase that. But those work really well to basically refinish the surface of the rim there, get all the rough spots. Again, you could use a fine grit sandpaper, but these seem like they really are easy on the rim. To clean it up, old freestyler BMX trick is this simple green stuff, and you could use that, or just some isopropyl alcohol, something just to get all the kind of the remaining grit and stuff off. And just once you get your rims polished up there, you just give it a good wipe down with this, and then once you're all cleaned up, you're ready to get your brakes back dialed in. They should work much better and quieter. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. It was helpful, and feel free to comment questions, put them down there in the comment section, and yeah, that's going to do it for this one. So thanks for watching.